All right, here we go. So we're back at it again.
Good.
Got a taste test going on. 2 different types of syrup. And why don't you tell them what brought this taste test on?
So me and my dad were having a discussion about syrup because he brought me this wonderful Miss Butterworth syrup, and he asked me, "Do you think this is syrup?" And I said yes, because it has syrup on the actual label. But he was like, "Read the ingredients," and I said, "All right." So I read the ingredients and I couldn't find any actual syrup. I found high fructose syrup, corn syrup. I found all of that other syrup, but I couldn't find actual maple syrup in the ingredients.
And so in our discussion, we talked about the difference between real syrup and pure maple syrup. And then what happened today at church?
My dad actually preached about syrup. He was saying he was going to preach about syrup, but I actually didn't even believe him. But he actually did. He pulled out this syrup and then pulled out some syrup like this, but I'm not going to tell you what happened to it. But still, he actually pulled it out and talked about it.
So what was one of the points that you learned when we were talking about the artificial syrup? Like, for example, we looked at the ingredients of this in the back, and you can see this. Hopefully my phone will focus in a little bit. But I see high fructose corn syrup, water, all kind of stuff that I can barely pronounce, salt, molasses, artificial flavor, artificial color, just all kind of stuff in there. Not one drop of actual maple syrup. And one of the things I made in my illustration is I said, even though it tastes like it, smells like it, looks like it, it has not a single drop of the real thing in it. And that's like a lot of people in church. They have the look, they have all of the right dress, all the right clothes, the right words, but don't have a drop of the real thing. Then I showed them some real maple syrup.
And it barely looks the same.
And this only has one ingredient, and that's 100% pure maple syrup. So we use some sermon illustrations on real versus fake. So here we go. This is the fake syrup. See how dark it is, really dark brown. This is actually pure maple syrup.
Kind of looks like honey.
Yeah, pure maple syrup. It's gorgeous, beautiful amber color.
My blood color.
So what we're gonna do is got some biscuits we just took out the oven, and he's basically gonna taste both syrups, talk a little bit about it, and see which one is better. I mean, the thing is, the fake syrup does taste good. It has a taste. Most of us grew up on it, but let's just see what it's like. All right, so go ahead and grab a biscuit.
Break it in half.
There you go. So go for the fake one first. All right, the Mrs. Butterworth. Get in there good. Get in there. You gotta make sure you get some of that good biscuit flavor.
All right.
Maple flavor. Okay. Look like it's kind of sticky. Tastes pretty good though, doesn't it? Even though it's not real, it does taste pretty good. Okay. So what are your preliminary thoughts?
It was like sticky and kind of slimy.
Sticky, kind of slimy, but sweet. Slimy but sweet, like a whole lot of saints. Anyway,
Dang.
glory to God. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's try the real maple syrup. Let's see what that tastes like.
All right.
Okay.
What the mess? Why is the texture like that? It's like it got a thin layer of plastic on it.
A thin layer of plastic? What are you talking about?
Why is it doing that?
So, not sticky?
Nope.
Okay.
Sticky.
Taste it. All right. So, is there a difference in taste?
Yes.
Tell us about the difference.
This one was a lot more watery, but it wasn't sticky and slimy like this one. But This one was a lot. It was sticky and slimy, and it tasted a lot like it, but it wasn't the same thing.
All right, so the flavor is kind of similar, but the texture on the real one is a lot more smooth. It's not sticky, slimy, artificial tasting.
Yep.
So if you had a choice between Mrs. Butterworth's original syrup, now thicker and richer, or
because it was slimier.
So translation is slimier, right? Or 100% pure maple syrup, grade A, amber color with a rich taste. Which one would you go for?
That real stuff.
The real stuff. It's like an old song came out years ago said, ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Huh? There you go. Well, there we have it. So the real syrup wins. Thanks for watching.